Hi designers, today's lesson is about how to draw with one-point perspective. We've drawn perspective before, and that was called isometric. And this kind of drawing has some things in common with isometric, like parallel lines and the verticals, and very light pencil drawing, but it also has some differences. One-point perspective is great for drawing things that go off into the sunset or to the far horizon line. So I've drawn a very typical one here with a road going off into the distance and some buildings on either side. And you can see that everything is going to one point here. This is called the vanishing point. And the bottoms of the buildings go to the vanishing point, and the tops of the buildings all go to the vanishing point as well. If you draw a lot, continue this line, it will connect right there. The tops of the buildings go there. And even all the windows and the tops of the door frames go to the vanishing point. This one is a little complicated, so it might be a little bit harder to see. So I've made a much simpler one just with some boxes. First of all, these are just some cube-looking objects. And you can see the similarities. There's the horizon line and a vanishing point. Notice that all of the faces that are next to us are square. And the edges are all parallel lines to the sides of our page. This line here is parallel to the edge of the page. This line here is parallel to the bottom of the page and the top of the page, as well as the horizon. So the faces don't show any distortion. They're flat. Where you see the distortion is how the sides move towards the vanishing point. And so the lines, this line is not parallel to this line. They're at a bit of an angle, and they point in that way. So what we're going to do today is we're going to just try something very simple. I want you to draw 3 cube-shaped objects going towards the vanishing point. So let's get started. First thing I have is a blank sheet of paper. First thing I'm going to do is draw the horizon line. So I want to make sure that my horizon line is parallel to the page. So take your time and eyeball it so you get it just right. Take your time, take your time. That looks pretty good to me. I'm going to put it a little above the halfway point of the page. You'll see when I draw it. And I'm going to draw a nice thin line. Remember what I said earlier about drawing a light line? I want you to practice right now drawing your lightest lines. Okay? Because if you draw a heavy line, it's going to be much harder to erase. It's not going to come up, whereas if you draw a light line, it's definitely going to erase much easier. Now I'm going to pick my vanishing point, and I'm just going to pick a spot. You don't need to measure, but somewhere right in the middle of the page, right about there. I have my horizon line and my vanishing point. Now I'm just going to draw the faces. The front side, the part that I can see of the block facing towards me. I'm going to draw a fairly big one over here. And again, I'm going to keep my lines parallel to the side of the page. See how the ruler is parallel? So I'm going to make something about this big. Nice big one here. And I want the bottom to be parallel to the bottom. Is that parallel, my friends? No, it is not. Take your time and do a good job. Now I'm going to go up. Okay, this is a little bit trickier because it's not so close to the edge, so I'm going to have to take my time and eyeball it to get it just right. Now you can see my lines are longer here. That's why I'm drawing them lightly, because I'm going to have to erase it. So I'm going to go across here. Make sure this line is parallel to the horizon line. Okay, so now I've got a box. I've got a little bit of overrun here. I'm going to use my eraser. Make sure you have a good eraser. There's going to be lots of erasers. Okay, so now we're going to figure out what we can see on this box. Because it's below the horizon line, we'll be able to see the top and a side. So there's my vanishing point. I'm going to draw a line from the corner to the vanishing point. A super light line, like that. Then I'm going to do it again from this corner to the vanishing point. And from the bottom corner. Okie dokie. It's getting there now. We just need to define the box area. So I want to make my box about, I don't want it to go all the way to the vanishing point. I want it to go right about here, I think. So now I'm going to draw the back side of the box. I'm going to make sure my ruler is parallel to the horizon. I'm going to draw across. Okay, do you see where it crossed right there? Now I'm going to draw a line down, and I want to make sure that this line is parallel to the sides. Okay, I've defined the shape of my box now. Now I need to get rid of these extra lines. I've drawn a box. It looks like it's sitting on the ground, and there's the horizon point. We're going to add some shading later to make it look more realistic. Okay, friends, now I am going to draw a building over here, and this building is going to be rising above the horizon line, but still sitting on the ground. So I'm going to draw the bottom of it over here. That line's parallel to the horizon. I'm going to draw the top above the horizon line. And now I'm going to draw the first side. Let's make this kind of a skinnier, taller building like this. Okey-doke. Since this one is above the horizon and below the horizon, I can't see the top and I can't see the bottom. I can only see the side. So I only need to draw the sidelines that go to the vanishing point. I'm going to define the back side of this box. Make sure my line's parallel. Okay, so now I can see the front and the side. I'm going to erase the extra lines. So I don't need that horizon line going through the middle of my box. When you erase that horizon line, now this box looks like it's in front of the horizon. I'm going to draw a box that's floating up in the air. And I think I'll make this box kind of small. Just a little 1-inch box. On this box, I'll be able to see the bottom because it's above the horizon line. So I know I'm going to need to draw the bottom and the sides. I can see that side. There's the vanishing point. I'm just going to draw some light lines. They don't have to go all the way to the vanishing point unless I want them to. One thing I love is that it kind of looks like it's zooming out from the vanishing point. You can definitely use this as a technique to show motion. Okay, so now I'm going to draw the bottom of the back side of the box and the vertical line of the back of the box. I'm going to erase the extra lines. Okay, I have now drawn 3 cubes, one below the horizon, one in front of the horizon line, and one above the horizon line. A little bit of shading would definitely help make this look like it's more three-dimensional. Also, if you can put something behind, like this one's above, so what if I put a big cloud? that goes behind this one. The cloud over here too. Now it looks like there's something behind it. Okay, so I'm going to guess that the sun is coming down from the top. So the bottom would be the darkest shading. Probably the lightest shading would be on the top, so I'm going to leave this area white. But I think on the facades, I'm going to shade them just a little bit. The face, what's facing me. I want this face to be about the same as the other faces. And then maybe just a little bit of shading on the ground too for shadow. This one doesn't get any shading underneath it because it's floating up in the sky. All right, designers, what I'd like you to do is try and draw a simple 3-cube, 1-point perspective. Good luck.